Welcome into the Real Matrix. I guess I'm your host, the Angry Patriot, and I have a very special guest. I have done radio work with this gentleman for years and years and years. I used to drag him along. He'd ride my coattails, and now I'm bringing him back to see if we can actually make this show work and make sense. I don't know why I'm doing that because he doesn't make any sense, but I think it's kind of like what's the magnet? Two negatives make a positive,
or positive and negative attract each other.
Well, I'm the positive.
Yeah.
So. There you go.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, Dave's always been better on radio because you don't get distracted by the.
That is so
look.
true. That is so true. I'm here with Dale Hellestrae, 3-time Super Bowl champion, NFL player for 18 years, and then guest on so many sports talk shows here in Phoenix, Arizona that I'm overdoing it with him. Most people I know are annoyed with his voice already, but I'm going to try to make it work here on Robat TV.
Yes, sir.
And Dale talks about, I definitely have a face for radio. But again, you?
Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Okay.
I mean, we walk in the room with 60-year-olds. I'm getting all the attention.
Yeah, I know. They think you're.
No,
They're not really.
No.
Hey, women love Shrek.
No.
That's a big
Small
thing.
ears, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean,
right,
Steve. Small ears, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out. Dale said that women like his small ears.
And older men, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and yours have no chance.
I am going to go home after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my ears on a diet. I'm going to try to. Yeah. How do you lose ear weight?
In another 5 years, you're going to be Dumbo.
I don't know how they fit in these earphones right now. So, back on the Real Matrix. I think our first show we talked about the fact that, at least I'm saying the fact that our lives now as we know it are very similar to the movie The Matrix. How in the Matrix movie the computers control everything, and we're just kind of slaves to the computers, and we don't really see what's going on around us. So we had that conversation most of the first show, but I want to play some clips in regards. If you haven't seen The Matrix, first things first, I want to show you really the gist of the comparison. So play the first clip, Riley.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
You could say that.
I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he is expecting to wake up. Ironically, this is not far from the truth. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix?
Do you want to know what it is?
Well, that's the job I'm trying to do.
Okay.
What is this Matrix? I'm going to try to explain it. And we talked about the fact that up until COVID, I was just zero interest in politics and basically the goings-on of life. I was just trying to get along, get by, go to my work, make my money, come home, enjoy my free time, spend time with my friends. I was just trying to get by. Just trying to live life.
No. You were getting by. You were living a good life.
No, I get it. Well, listen, I'm not Rockefeller. I'm not Musk. I'm not Trump. I have a good. Most people have a good life.
But you live in a guard-gated community
You
up
know
on a
that's not
hill,
the case.
and you
like the
and you forgot to
description.
say you go to work, then you go golf, then you come home.
I do. I did a lot of golf.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
But it was no.
yeah. You know, you lived a very, very good. You still live a very good life.
All
but
right. So should I just say, hey, I'm living a great life. Screw everyone else.
No, because something prompted you, just like we talked in the previous
Yeah.
show. Something prompted Elon Musk to say, you know what, my life is fantastic. Yeah, how can you not believe that his life? Obviously, everybody has their own little problems.
Yeah, I don't know how fantastic his life is. He's sleeping in the White House or wherever, trying to find out all this corruption, and he's not on a beach somewhere.
But before that, he was.
Well, he could be.
Yes,
He
and he
could have
chose
been.
not to.
Yeah.
You've chosen to get in the mud and start churning up a little bit and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, and so again, when COVID hit, we talked about and we'll readdress the fact that all of a sudden you had to get an experimental vaccine. You didn't know the ingredients, you didn't know the side effects, you didn't know what's going to happen long term.
6 months, right? It was approved in 6 months.
Well, in future shows, I'm going to show you that they had this technology and they were doing research on this and they were developing this, I think, since the 90s. But I just saw a look on Dale that he thinks I'm a little wacky. We'll show this information in future shows. They've been working on this for years. Do you realize who has the patent on this or who developed the first COVID vaccine?
No.
The Department of Defense.
Okay.
How does that make sense?
That doesn't.
Doesn't make sense,
No.
does it?
No.
And you got to realize there are bio labs all over the world that we're funding, or at least we were when Fauci was there. We're funding that bioweapon, biolabs, Department of Defense. It wasn't, Pfizer just didn't come out and say, we got this. That information was given from the Department of Defense to these big pharma companies to mass produce it. And actually, I think I could show you the when you have a patent, the patent on it, and
Yeah.
who's behind it. Yeah. There's so much great information we're going to show you in future shows in regards to that information, in regards to COVID and how it was a bioweapon set on the world, on our country, to lock us down, test us, find out how willing we are to be subservient to the main voice, our government. Government wants to be in all control. It was a test. We failed miserably. Some of you out there did not fail, but we talked about the fact that these COVID vaccines are dangerous and they are causing. I know you got it. The story Dale got it because his mother was in a nursing home, and the only way for Dale to see her was to get the vaccine. Now, it would have been a tough thing for me. I don't know. I might have just dragged her out of there and said, "Screw you." I really, really wouldn't have got the vaccine. But you made the choice. You said, I have to see my mom.
Right.
I don't care how dangerous it is or whatever. I have to do that. To me, that is just evil
Yes.
and criminal that they made not only you, but I can't tell you how many workers at regular companies were forced to get the vaccine because if your company did work with the government, contracted with the government,
Right.
the government would say, you get your people vaccinated or we won't work with you.
Right.
And that's why I'm a firm believer in small government, because that reason alone, the bigger government gets, they get their tentacles in everything and they start controlling everything. And again, you talk about a one world government. Well, we might just be, our government will control us for sure. The smaller our government is, the more our voice counts, because instead of a centralized government where the voice comes from one, the voice would come from our local governments, whether it be state, city, county, whatever. The lower you can bring the voice down, the more your voice counts. I mean, if everything was dictated from our just local county, you actually have a voice. People can hear you. But how does your voice go nationwide? It doesn't. You're out. You have no chance. So the smaller the government, the better. The problem was our big government was saying you had to get the vaccine, and it was just totally criminal, totally criminal. And that was the splinter in my head that Neo said, I don't understand. I feel something's wrong here. Did you feel something was wrong? Or did you didn't care? Listen, we talked about this when this was happening. And you basically, I don't want to say ignored it or poo-pooed it. I don't know the word, but you definitely weren't on board. And I think it's changed a little bit. And I don't know how much it's changed. I don't know when it changed. I don't know what factors changed it for you. You tell me.
Well, number one, I would not have gotten the vaccine.
Wise, super wise.
But again, I was forced to, okay, do I get to see my mom for the next year?
Yeah.
Or do I lose a $100 bet to Dave? we have a little side bet.
We do have a bet. First one that dies has
Yes.
to put their
$100 in their casket.
Yep.
And
just give me the money now.
and
Dale.
I said I'm willing. Will you take 50 now?
I think I'd take a buyout.
But I said, I got to see. I'm gonna have to see my mom. There's no doubt about it. When I started doing due diligence, and again, I'm 62 years old. Okay, I'm relatively healthy. I have had no side effects. I do know a lot of people who have had side effects.
Right.
And when you start reading a little bit, I don't read as much as you.
No.
But when you start talking about birth problems and
Yes.
infertility,
I told you about those.
and on and on
Yes.
and on and on. It's like, okay, there was something that was forced upon us. And the more I read about it, it seemed like a test to see how compliant the flock would be following the orders.
Well, it was, but as we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it in this show or last show, but I think one of the underlying agendas, one of the large underlying agendas, is they want to depopulate. They think there's too many of us. And what's a good way to depopulate? There's a couple of things we talked about in the last show. One, if you make everyone gay and change their sex, well, not going to have kids. I mean, if you change your sex from male to female or vice versa, you're not procreating. You're not going to have kids. They love that. They would love everyone to be trans. Everybody, no kids. Also, if you can put something in these vaccines that makes it hard for women to be fertile and get pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, in all of this, because I felt like this has been going on for years and years and years. And I will say this, that is the most humane way to bring down the population. I know it is just terribly disappointing for some women who want to have kids not to be able to have kids. It's just hugely disappointing. But it's not like you're killing people who are alive.
Right.
With myocarditis, heart attacks, people dying in their sleep, people dying on the athletic fields, dying suddenly. That is more. That to me, that is just.
Yeah, if you don't start a life, that's a lot more humane than
Correct.
ending a life.
Correct. As we talked before, I think I'd love to have less people on the planet, but the problem is when they want to get to that goal by killing me.
Yeah.
I might have a small problem with that. So, yeah, everything they've been doing in regards to COVID, it just didn't make any sense. And then you find out more and more and more information. So,
Tell us, what's your first emotion when you're driving down the street in 2025 and you see somebody walking on the sidewalk with a mask on by themselves?
I I will give you a little bit of information for you mask wearers out there. When you wear a mask, you get about 10 to 12% less oxygen than you would get normally. That is a prime environment for illness. So actually wearing a mask is counterproductive. If you have those paper masks, that if you look at a box, buy a box. If you look at a box, it says does not stop viruses. So if you're wearing the mask, the paper mask to stop the virus, and it doesn't, and you're getting in less oxygen that makes your internal organs or your body more susceptible to illness, you're really causing yourself more harm than good.
See, I can even see, we flew to Hawaii a couple of weeks ago, and there were probably, 5, 6, 7 people that wore masks.
It's just comedy.
You know what? At least you're talking about a bunch of people crammed into a small space, and if you want to protect yourself, whatever. Or maybe you have a cold. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I can at least go, okay, well, that makes a little bit. But when I see somebody riding a bike or walking by themselves with a mask on, that makes absolutely no sense to me.
A couple years ago when I was at a ASU game, kid came running by, looked like he was, the best shape you could ever imagine. He was wearing one of those masks, like an N95 that has a filter, and he was sucking air through the filter. It sounded like a train engine, a train locomotive coming by. I'm just laughing. I'm like, this guy's as healthy as you can all
Yeah,
get.
he's
up.
20 years old.
You cut it out. And that goes to show you the power of the media and the message,
Right.
the message that we're told, and how we seem to just eat up. And I'll do a little background with you listeners or viewers here with Dale, and I had talked to Dale about this for years, right when it came out, and Dale was, he looked at me very skeptically. Now, that's understandable. Not that smart. It's reason that most people wouldn't want to believe anything I have to say. But I told him that, and you're not the only one. I'm very active. I think I play hockey. I just played hockey.
You play
last
hockey,
night.
you play golf.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm in a group. I remember the hockey team I was with. When the vaccine came out, I said, don't take it. Don't take it. These are friends of mine that some of them I've known for 15, 20 years.
Right.
And I realized, I think it's strange when we as people, and they think I'm smart. They might, think I'm full of it sometimes, but they think I'm smart. Why they would believe some man on the TV screen that they don't know,
Right.
instead of a friend, allegedly a friend, someone that they've known that's not trying to harm them, trying to just inform people.
Right.
I never understood, and I still won't even right now, how people will listen to the narrative on TV instead of actually thinking critically with their own head, talking with friends and saying, wait a minute, what I'm hearing doesn't make sense.
Right.
There's no answer to that.
Tell me this. Did you lose any friendships?
Yes. Yeah. But I walked away from it. I would show people the evidence of what was happening. I would show them documentation about how myocarditis was affecting many people who got vaccinated, and which causes heart attacks.
Yeah.
And I said, scientifically, this, and the drug manufacturer saying, yeah, it could cause myocarditis. Now, if you don't get myocarditis, okay, it's no big deal. But if you're one of the lucky ones that got it, it's a lot bigger deal.
Right.
And, we were supposed to wear a mask and get vaccinated to save grandma, our 90-year-old grandmother, but we're going to get a shot that could cause myocarditis and give us a heart attack and have us die in our sleep, and actually large numbers. If you want to go on, there's a website called VAERS, Open VAERS. I think it's open.VAERS. Or it's Open VAERS. Don't
How
quote
do
me
you
on it.
spell VAERS?
VAERS is Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System.
Okay.
So VAERS, V adverse.
AIRS.
It's a vaccine.
AIRS.
VAERS. 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 And the government has a website, VAERS.gov. And they have just multitudes of statistics there. It's really dry. It's hard to go through. But there's a website called OpenVAERS that gives you the information. The amount of people that have died directly from getting the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, is more than all of our vaccines in the history of vaccines. And the numbers are so skewed and really unreported. The other things you could get from the COVID vaccine was the Gills bar that where your face gets paralyzed.
Right.
There's a number. I had a friend, a golfing friend, who got it. He got the paralyzation of the face, and he tried to report it. The shame about the VAERS program is it's self-reporting. You as the patient have to report it to the website, and he tried like endlessly to get the information. And obviously, if what I'm saying is true, is that Big Pharma and these large organizations that are making what's beyond billions and trillions, gazillions, they're making that much on the COVID vaccine. You think they're going to make it real easy for you to report that the thing they're making more money on than God is harming people? They're not going to make it easy. And they didn't. And he was never able to report it. Another story of a friend, a young guy who was working with me. His friend, they were soccer players. He's at mid-20s.
Shape, yeah.
Best health you can imagine. Got the vaccine, had heart pain for a week, died. Is that reported to VAERS? No, because it needs to be self-reported, and the parents didn't associate it with it. They said, "Oh, it wasn't the vaccine. It must have been something else." How many times are we told in the media when something looks something that the media says, "Well, no, that's not it. It's something else," and we just go, "Oh, the media said it's something else, so I guess it's something else."
See, that's another thing that, for me, in the last 5 years, I didn't watch the news a whole lot anyways.
Me neither. I get it.
But then obviously you did because there are updates and whatever.
It's not even the news. I'll tell you where I got it, but go ahead.
And it's like, okay, so I listened to what was going on for about 6 months. And then I started questioning things in my own mind about, well, this and this don't add up to this.
Correct.
But, so-and-so said it here and so-and-so said it here. So that must make it, you mean I can't ask any questions? I can't approach you and go, well, why isn't this fitting into this box? Why am I hearing that, yes, this will help you if you get COVID? And then on the other side, I'll hear, no, it won't help you. It's so many mixed messages.
So that's where what I've said, and I'm going to try to impart the fact that if you hear it in the mainstream media, don't trust it. Don't trust. Mainstream media is controlled by the world elite.
I can't trust Fox News anymore?
No.
Come on.
Sorry. Now, they're gonna give you the conservative viewpoint, how you can be mad at the Democrats.
Yeah.
That's probably true. But if you think they're for free speech, I mean, here's another thing. You know, Tucker Carlson had the #1 rated show, most viewers on cable network in history. He was speaking real truths about health, vaccines, all the. He was speaking truths.
Right.
The ones that are counter counter to the agenda by this government or the elite. Number one show, most wildly popular, fired. They don't want free speech.
Right.
They don't want you learning. They don't want you knowing.
Tell me this: have you ever been able to compile a list of they? Like, is there 10 people in this they? Is there 100? Is there 1,000? Is there?
We're going to probably go over that in another show.
Okay. Because I hear that a lot. They, and I've heard Soros.
Well, Soros,
And
Gates,
Gates.
but really, where the key is the investment firms. Now, you must have a retirement program, or all right. So, do you know where you invest your money in?
I have it written down.
Regardless, I tell you what. On one of the shows, we show how, the two most in investment firms, they're all kind of interrelated. They're kind of like the family in the West Virginia hills, where they're all intermarried. Sisters
The family
marrying
tree
brother.
kind of goes like this.
Yeah, and so when you look at how investment firms work, not only do they invest your money, but they're not just their firm. They're owned. They have stock and owned, and the stock they offer is owned by other investment firms, and then those small firms are owned by larger investment firms, which are then owned by larger investment firms. So when you have actually invest your money, it's all one big
Conglomerate.
yes. And again, why are these companies woke? Why do they make these policies that you look at and you say, that doesn't make any sense?
Right.
Well, because that's their agenda. And they are the largest contributor. They are the financially, because they own the most stock. And again, whoever has the most money, whoever donates, they run the show. And all of these investment firms, they're all related and they're all owned, and they run the show. They own everything. They own everything. We did a show in regards to the fact that all of those companies, and they're headed by, you probably heard of these names, Vanguard and BlackRock.
Yeah.
They run everything. They have all the money. And if you don't go along with their agenda or their rules, they can pull their money, and that company, that large corporation, they're in deep trouble. They could, and those investment firms, they don't care. Remember with the what's her name, Delaney Mulvey, or the transsexual who was
Yeah.
Bud Light,
Yeah.
and a lot of people said, I'm not drinking Bud Light anymore, and Bud Light stock and everything took a hit. Well, you would think other people would say, well, why would they want to lose money? Why would they do this
Yeah.
to lose money? Because money is really important to
Yeah.
them. Well, because they own all the other beer companies. So if you don't drink Bud Light, it's not like you're going to go, I'm not drinking beer. So they own Coors, they own Miller, they own everything. So if you don't drink Bud Light, you're going to drink their other beer. Doesn't matter.
But what happens if you're a stockholder in Bud Light?
They don't care. The ones that run the rule, that own, the ones that make the rules, the ones that are in charge, they don't care about stockholders. They don't care about any of that. They care about their agenda, what they're pushing, and hopefully you're on the right side of what they're pushing, because they don't care about you. They don't care about us. They hate us.
Are you throughout this the Matrix show? Do you ever have any good news?
Yes. The good news is you don't have to listen to this anymore. We're going to go to a break. But if you have any kind of guts, you'll come back, catch us on the other side. We'll be right back. Want to make your love life sizzle like a Phoenix summer? Summit Male Medical guarantees to help you with ED or premature issues, or we won't charge you. We've helped tens of thousands of patients here in the Valley since 2008. Please compare our most experienced medical staff and low-price treatments to anybody. If you've talked to the rest, it's time to come to the best. Put the sizzle back in your love life. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. Summit Medical, love for life.